Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss a very important and a very interesting poet, and the name of that poet is John Donne. John Donne has a unique place in English literature. He came after the Elizabethan period. Elizabethan period begins with the 16th century, and the John Donne comes just after the Elizabethan period, and he belongs to the metaphysical school of poetry. Now, what is metaphysical? Means beyond physical. Metaphysical means meta means beyond physical. Now, what is beyond physical? Because these poets, which comes in the category in the school of metaphysical school of poetry, there are many great poets in that school, in that period, which belongs to metaphysical school, and the prominent poet is John Donne. Then we have Andrew Marvell, uh, and others poet also. But John Donne is a unique metaphysical poet, and they have used the images in a very strange way. They have used very far off images. They have compared things which looks dissimilar. So this is their uniqueness. This is their individuality. And that's why that the modern writers, even T.S. Eliot, the modern poet, has appreciated the poetry of John Donne, because the poetry is full of intellect. There is wisdom. Although there are not much emotions in their poetry, but they have used many scientific theories, scientific images to introduce the human emotions. So, in this way, this school of poetry has contributed a lot, and their poetry is full of, you can say that it presents a problem to us, and in a unique way, in a very strange way, they resolve that issue. So, John Donne is a 17th century metaphysical poet, and he is known for his far-fetched images. They have used images which are, in earlier poetry, we have a very direct comparison. But here they have used a very far-fetched, far-off images, and they have used subtle wit. There is a lot of wisdom in that. And his poems begin abruptly. This is also one of the qualities of metaphysical poetry, and particularly John Donne. Abruptly means the poems begin just like a dialogue. For example, the poem which are prescribed in your syllabus is Go and Catch a Falling Star. Now look at the title. And another one is Death Be Not Proud of. So such titles are very indicative that the poem begins abruptly and just like a dialogue. And they have used comparisons which are drawn from far off things, far off countries. And John Donne wrote love poems as well as religious poems. But somewhere in his poetry, the religion is dominated. Uh, Through his love poems also, he uses many religious connotations, meanings, and in this way he glorify the service of God, because he was a man of religion. So that's why in his writing the religion is the center, and he tries to uh, to to describe, to tell to the public that they should follow the right path. Now, Go and Catch a Falling Star is a well known poem of John Donne. The poem begins abruptly in a light and playful mood. For example, go and catch a falling star. This is the first line of the poem. Get with child a mandrake root. The mandrake is a plant. Get child with a mandrake root. Although there are many similarities between human beings and plants. Because what are the similarities between human beings and plants? पौधे आप जानते हैं. What are the similarities? For example, that in the young age, the baby is very tender and soft. Similarly, the plants are also very tender and soft in the beginning when we plant them. But as the man grows and become very stern, similarly when a plant grows, it becomes very hard and very strong. And as we need food, they also need food. As we become old, so trees also become old. The stem of the trees become very rough when they are old, and after that they fall down similarly as we die. So there are many similarities between human beings and plants, but human beings child cannot be born on a plant, with a plant. So, but the poet uses this get child with a mandrake root because it is impossible. Although there are many similarities between human beings and plants, but this cannot happen. Human beings child cannot be born on plants. So look at the poem, beginning of the poem, and it begins abruptly without any background, just that go and catch a falling star, get with child a mandrake root. Tell me where all past years are. No one can recall the time which has been spent, which has gone. We cannot recall back that time. Or who cleft the devil's foot. So it is also a tendency, it is also a common belief, if we can say. It is a common belief that devil's foot are in reverse order. They have, you can say, they separated or in reverse order as we have. So who made the devil's foot in that way? No one knows, because many people even don't believe in ghosts and devils. But if they are, then it is also mysterious, it is also unknown that who made their foot in that way, because it is a common belief. Teach me to hear mermaids singing. Now, what are the mermaids? Mermaids are the mythical creature. It is described that they are the mythical creature, the lower part of a woman and the upper part, the lower part of a fish and the upper part of a woman, like mermaids. And then they also sing a song, but we don't know their language, we cannot understand or enjoy their song. Or teach me to hear mermaid singing. So the poet wishes that loss he can listen the mermaid song. Or to keep off envy's stinging. Envy means the jealousy, the person who is envious of you, who is jealous of you. That how you can stop a person who is envious of you or who is jealous of you, because most of the things he does or he did when you are not present. So how can you stop the language, the tongue of the jealous person? So it is not in our control. And find what wind serves an honest mind. And similarly, we are quite unaware that mm, uh, when we start our action, so that so that our wish or our aim should be fulfilled. So it is not clear, it is not crystal clear that when we do start. But in all religion, it is said that the man, the human being, should focus upon their work, and the result is in the hands of destiny. You will get the best result according to your deeds. So, so we cannot say that when we will start, when we in what time, and when and the stars are like that, they could help us in our success. So it is a useless exercise, but we should focus upon our work, upon our good deed, and we should give the maximum effort to obtain that goal. So these things are described in the first stanza of the poem, and the poem is lists all the impossible things in the first paragraph, which is quite unusual paragraph, unusual stanza, we can say that is a poem. And so I hope that you would enjoy the poem, and the conclusion is also very important, because the apparent the things which the poet has described, but he has some hidden meaning also. He tries to convey something else beyond the words he has written, and that should we look into in our next lecture. I hope that you would continue to listen the videos, and also the notes which we are sending to you. So keep in touch with us and enjoy the lectures. Thank you.